All right, you guys are making us laugh in the back seat here because Danny's catching a bunch of
strays. I was on time. We were just chatting about some business back here. So
yeah, we actually were chatting business here. I swear Danny was not napping and didn't have his alarm set or whatever.
Although I did show up without a shirt on because I was coming off of a shower. So Corey was able to see that, but you guys weren't.
Yes, I was able to see that. And it appears streamer mode's acting up on the site right now. So we might have to pull this and change it up a little bit how we do it. So
what we could do is we can give them a timestamp in the stream as we answer the question because we can message them.
Yeah. I think streamer mode is down.
Texting the devs?
Question mark. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. I'm just got out of the sauna. Danny rotate. Corey will know what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's a COD term. I know. I played COD enough to know that. That's what that means.
You got to hit the early row in a money hill.
Yeah. I'm getting an error on the site right now when I'm trying to pull up the questions. Okay. So what we're going to have to do is just share this screen.
Let me just see if I can.
Yeah, if you can go ahead and try, maybe try logging out and logging back in. But we can do it from this screen and use the respond feature. And
are you not getting the start streaming button?
No. It's when I hit this it just gives me an error message when I try and click into a question.
Oh,
so go hit the start streaming, like put the link in and hit start streaming and see if you can open the questions. If you can open the questions, then we're good.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just trying to
when I click on the questions, it's giving me an error. But worst case scenario, we can just stream it from here, and I can hit the respond button every time we need to respond to something.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just copying the stream over the stream link. Sorry, over my fucking mouse is being gay.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
What if the real fantasy Q&A were the friends we made along the way?
Yeah. Oops, something went wrong with a big bomb emoji.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me. So don't worry about it. Yep. Okay, we'll just answer the questions from here. CB or Sebi here has a start sit. Can I go to? Oh my God, it's not going to let me load any of these.
Dog.
Really. Oh man.
Oh no.
I mean, it's Thanksgiving. The devs are probably not available.
Well, what are we supposed to do?
I suppose refund anybody who gave a question and ask them to ask it here. Hold on. Maybe let me try a different browser or something. I don't know.
That's not ideal. No, definitely not. Definitely not ideal.
Error messages anytime we click into questions. Brutal. Okay. Well,
yeah.
If you guys are in here and you submitted a question, don't worry. You will be compensated back for said question. We also may just answer it on. Like we're totally getting error messages here.
If you did submit a question, what we can do is we can actually see the usernames of the people on the site. Drop your username on Flock in the chat if you paid for a question, and then obviously if it matches, we can.
Parker said the site is bugging and won't let him submit a start set. Okay, so here's what we'll do.
Whoever already has. So I won't say the names out loud, but if you did submit a start sit or a trade question, again, keep in mind we have 12 start sits here, 1 trade question. If that's one of you, and 1 review, of course, as well. If that's one of you guys, just leave your name in the chat, and obviously I can double check on the back end.
Right, but we can't actually open the questions, Danny.
We can't open the questions.
Yeah,
but Corey, you're not listening to me though. If they say their username on Flock in the chat, they can then ask their question in the chat. And as long as I see that their Flock username matches that of what they put in the YouTube chat, I'll know that they actually submitted a question.
Right. I think
because I can still see. I can still see the
questions from the chat, and if you say, "Hey, I submitted a question," we'll prioritize yours. But we'll just answer chat questions like we used to. I think.
Corey, I think I'm going over your head. I'm agreeing with that. What I'm saying though is, if somebody is in chat that left a comment for the review, and they say their Flock username and it matches one of the reviews on the back end, I will know that they did submit a question on the site. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I got, that's fair. I was just going to say we should just send them all free vouchers and they can just resubmit.
We could do that too. I'm just assuming
we can just answer questions directly from the chat and just pretend that we're not even using the site.
I was just assuming that some people might have questions pertinent to today. So that's why if they did leave a comment on the site, then we would just be able to do it easier.
Yeah. I would say let's just answer as many questions as we can in the chat. And if we have to prioritize people's questions because we're getting too many, we can do that. But it's Thanksgiving. I'm sure we won't have too many people in here. So we should be able to just get to everybody's questions normally. We're just going to answer chat questions because for whatever reason, this the site is not working on the back end, and I don't imagine the devs are available on Thanksgiving. So
Nope.
we'll rip through as many questions as we have here. BTJ,
hey, those custom walks are legit.
Yeah, they are. BTJ or Jameson Williams, who you rolling with today?
Let me take a look at my rankings.
Obviously, JMO plays today, so you won't know.
Well, that's why I'm
Ryan
checking.
Thomas is playing for certain.
Who would be your pivot if you would go BTJ? Because they're both in the same tier for me. I do have BTJ at 24, JMO at 26. If it's just like a wide receiver 35 or worse option that you would have to replace, I don't mind just going with Jameson Williams. But with that being said, if I do get the choice, Brian Thomas Jr. get right spot against Tennessee on the road, like Tennessee allows big plays like nobody's business.
They're back.
Lawrence has been playing well
in my rankings right now, so I would just play Jameson Williams, not knowing for sure if he's going to play.
24 and 26 for me. I have BTJ at 24, JMO at 26. That's why I asked, like, unless you have like a top 32-ish level pivot option, I would just roll with JMO.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go through the questions in the chat. Old rules apply. We'll go through them in chronological order. And again, if you submitted a question to the site and we're not getting to it and you're wondering why, just know we will compensate you. We'll send you a voucher back just because for some reason the site is not working on our end and the devs are unavailable since it is Thanksgiving. So I guess this is good. The good news is you can just ask a question in the chat and it'll get answered. So all the free questions for Thanksgiving for those of you guys that are American. Also, we are not American, so we appreciate you guys saying happy Thanksgiving, but it is not Thanksgiving in Canada here.
Corey, I have Drake May quarterback 2 this week.
I have him over Lamar Jackson. He's not quarterback 2 for me, but he is over Lamar Jackson.
Well,
so
I have Josh Allen a little bit lower because it's on the road, but that would be the difference. I have Mahomes 1, May 2.
I have Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, May, Jackson as my top 5.
Mahomes, May. I mean, same top 5 pretty much then.
Okay. Yeah, Allen, Hurts, Mahomes, May, Jackson is the order of my top 5. So I do prefer Drake May, I'm still playing Lamar over like Staffords and Herberts and Burrows of the world because the matchup is just too good. I know Lamar has not been good and he's been dealing with these injuries, but
where do you have Burrow ranked?
Man, it's at home against the Bengals. This is a get right spot for him.
Where do you have Burrow ranked? Because I have him tentatively at 12, simply because it is on the road. It is his first game back. I do have a little bit of pause there. But ultimately, if you wanted to argue him up to 9, that's as high as I can get him. I
have him at 11.
Yeah, so I have him at 12.
I would play like, if anybody out there is wondering if they should start Burrow, I would play Stafford, Herbert, Jackson, May, that tier of quarterbacks over him. I would also play Jacoby Brissett, Dak Prescott, and Bo Nix over him. But if you're deciding between Burrow and Love, or Burrow and Dart, or Burrow and Goff, or Burrow and Caleb, or Darnold, or Purdy, or Mayfield, or Lawrence, or any of those guys, I would actually take the risk on Burrow in those situations.
The only one I would disagree with would be Dart, just because he's been such an advantage when he's been on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's at New England. It's a pretty difficult matchup. That would be the difference.
Pass funnel, though.
At Baltimore is a little bit easier of a matchup.
Pass funnel could be pressing from behind. Also, he runs. Even Dart's the type of quarterback, because he runs, can get by in those matchups.
Yeah. Also, Scribbles brings up, because we're going in chronological order of the question, please only ask the question one time, because we will get to less questions if you ask your question multiple times. So
also, like Tito
he might not have known, so I'm not going to ban him yet, but anybody who spams going forward will catch a little timeout here.
I wasn't going to hard ban,
and we will get to it in chronological order. Again, I can't imagine we're going to have a ton of questions, so we should be able to get to everybody.
Let me tell you guys protocol, right? First time I see you guys spamming a question, it's a 5-minute timeout. If I notice your name spamming a question again, and even if it's in a stream 3 weeks from now, you're going to be getting the permanent. So just don't do it. Don't put yourself in that situation. Especially, again, I'm in a good mood right now. I'm willing to give those 5-minute timeouts. You don't want me in a later stream seeing your name spam the question 8 times and just permanently banning you from the YouTube now, would you?
Especially if the Cowboys lose or something.
Yeah, Tito, you're good. It's probably your first time.
Forgot to rank Pacheco, fellas, although he should be dead last.
I think I have Pacheco in my rankings.
In my weeklies.
Where do you have Pacheco ranked?
31.
You don't have him over Hunt, do you?
I have him 2 spots ahead of Hunt, yes.
I'll take the guy that gets the consequential touches on the team.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right about that. I should probably move him below him. I have Pacheco at 36 then. So, I mean, he's not a real startable option. In week 13, when there's no buys, you probably should not have to start Isaiah Pacheco. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, and if you do, that might be an issue.
Yeah. Would you trade Javonte plus Bucky for CMC in a fucking heartbeat? I would. Yeah, easily. Bucky Irving is going to be having a bit of a ramp up here. I would imagine he's probably going to play a limited snap share. Javonte is good, but he's a back end RB1. Christian McCaffrey.
CMC is a monster. Legendary upside.
Yeah.
Like, we're at the point with Christian McCaffrey where like we could have said coming into the year, the injuries are an issue, or midseason, like if he gets hurt, like he hasn't been as good as a rusher, this and that. I don't give a fuck about his rushing efficiency at this point. You know why I don't care about his rushing efficiency, Corey?
Because he catches like 75 receiving yards a game.
He catches like 7 or 8 balls, 80 plus receiving yards a game. Like
if
you're going to be doing that, then I don't care if you average 3.2 yards per carry, respectfully.
Yeah, no, he is. He's a beast. Drake May has a higher floor, but you got to love the upside for Lamar. Yeah, I don't disagree. That's a tough. If you have the May versus Lamar decision, don't envy you, because I think that's right about the cutoff line for Lamar because of how bad he's been.
I have May a good bit higher.
I have him one spot higher, but I think he's the guy where you're like, okay, he's been much better. That's the guy that you roll with. But like when you're deciding between Lamar and like guys that have underperformed also at times, then it's hard. It's harder to get me there because knowing what Lamar's upside is on any given.
You're confusing me. Lamar's not in the question. It's Burrow.
Oh, sorry. They're answering previous question. The previous question. I'm sorry. I was talking about the previous question.
Yo, sorry. I was like, what?
May or Burrow? Yes, I would play Drake May, even though you have Jamar Chase. I would play Drake May.
Yeah. Yoshi Voss or QJ. Let me take a look. QJ
against the Raiders, man. They allow explosive plays galore.
I have QJ higher. I just want to see what the discrepancy is. I have QJ at 31, and I have Andre Yoshi Voss at 38.
Yeah, no, it's too easy to be playing QJ this week. I think Herbert has a chance to really go berserk.
Yeah.
Start 2 full PPR 1.75.
1.75 premium.
Dowdle versus. I mean, I think I'm cool if you want to. Like, I don't know for sure what Hampton's workload's.
I'm starting Rico regardless. Rico's
in there for sure. But the question is Hampton at full strength? The full strength Hampton I would play over Fannin, but if we have any kind of worry about a pitch count or something like that, I would go with Fannin.
Yeah. I think given the premium, if you did want to play it safe, we also got the rumbling from Robin that even if Hampton plays, it might be a committee because he was asked about it. What's Vidal's involvement going to be like as soon as Hampton comes back? And he says he wants to get both guys involved. Again, we'll see how much that lasts because obviously talent will win out. If Hampton's playing at the level he was earlier in this year, he's still a better player than Vidal. But at the same time, in the intermediate, if this is like a 50-50 or even like a 55-45, 60-40 lean for Hampton and a 1.75 premium, I think I got to go with Harold Fannin. Like you're looking at 6+ targets there.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, we talked about the site already. Just anybody who's just joining us, we're going to answer chat questions in chronological order because the site is currently bugging and it's Thanksgiving, so the devs are not available. Mr. President said, I think so too. D. Louis, Bengals at home. Yeah, okay. People talking about the Lamar stuff. Thanks for all you guys tolerating my endless trolling. Yes, happy Thanksgiving to our American homies out there, which is probably most of you. Need a flex. Full PPR options are Kareem Hunt, DK Metcalf, or Deebo Samuel.
I go Deebo.
I think I mean, it sounds like Terry's going to be back this week by the looks of it. It sounds like it, at least, based on what's going on so far in practice.
I'll drop him a little bit, but DK Metcalf is hurt, and he's a fucking non-factor. That guy's a glorified tight end. Kareem Hunt, again, it's a great matchup, like in principle, because of the high-scoring game environment. But we also have to acknowledge that ever since the Cowboys made the trade for Quinnen, they've been running a lot more bear fronts. The efficiency as a rushing attack against them. Again, keep in mind, Raiders, Eagles rushing games haven't been the strongest. But at the same time, it's not like the Chiefs have been the most efficient rushing game this year as well. So I can see Hunt getting there because he's going to get goal line equity for an offense that's implied for, 28 points this week? It's a 52.5 over-under. They're 3-point favorites. So,
yeah.
Like, I think Hunt's going to get consequential touches. Is this the issue of if he touches the ball 12 to 15 times because Pacheco's back and maybe he doesn't get the luck of the draw when it comes to the red zone opportunity, what exactly can we expect from both an efficiency standpoint and a potential receiving standpoint? Yeah. To me, because of that, I think I lean just Deebo because there's the upside there. We're also looking at...
I think the ankle is a good tiebreaker. Like he's coming in with an ankle injury. It's pretty like Rodgers should be back, but it's a tough matchup. Like you said, Benford's probably going to shadow him. What they did to Igbuka with the shaded over top coverage. Like you probably just go with the targets and the touches of Deebo. Even if McLaurin's back, he might be ramped up.
I'm not even 100% sure DK Metcalf plays. And even if he does, like I'm not even exaggerating, Corey. Even if he plays, I think his conversation is more so along the lines of like a Jacoby Myers, Trey Tucker, and DJ Moore type than people want to admit. He's been that bad. Like he's straight.
He's been bad. Yeah.
DK Metcalf get 50 fucking receiving yards challenge. Impossible.
Yeah, it's really hard for him to do that. Let's keep motoring through here. We got Purdy, Mahomes. Okay. Quarterback, you're starting Mahomes. Running back, you start 2 of them in your running back slots. That would be CMC and Kenneth Walker for me. Wide receivers, Olave and Diggs would be the two that I'd roll with. Tight end is going to be Otten or Barner, I guess is the question mark there.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. What's the status on Waller?
Waller's not going to play, I can't imagine, this week. And I wouldn't start him.
It's weird because
first week back, I don't think.
I get that, but it's weird because he has a fucking sleeper projection.
He does. Yeah, it's possible he plays. I just probably wouldn't start him first week back. I think I would probably go with Barner there, especially knowing that Mayfield might not play.
Yeah. That's a good point.
The flex decision here, he's got options like Aaron Jones, Alec Pierce, Jawan Jennings, Sean Tucker, Trey Benson, Chris Rodriguez. I think between Aaron Jones, Pierce, and Jennings would be the top two guys there, and maybe Terry McLaurin, but I just don't really want to mess with him coming off of the injury. I think I'd go Jawan Jennings of those options. Jennings, Pierce versus Aaron Jones.
Yeah, it'd be between Jennings and Pierce for me. I have Pierce slightly higher, but I do think both have appeal. It's just, man, Cleveland on the road just feels like such a slot fest of a game, 35.5 over under. Whereas with Pierce, again, not the greatest matchup. Houston's been stingy on defense, but you are getting the 44.5 over under. You are getting the 24.5 implied points at home. And as we know with Pierce, like he's capable of getting 80 plus, 90 plus receiving yards. He had a down week, but realistically going into that game, he averaged 83 yards per game from week 6 on. So I would lean that way. But I mean, Jennings does have touchdown equity. So if they are to score, again, it is a low game environment, but at the same time, they are favored in that game. Like if he does score, I can see him having another productive day because when they get down in the red zone, man, like he's gotten some really good usage. But I Pierce my answer. It's 30 versus 33.
Kincaid and Mark Andrews would be the two that I would roll with in this situation. Mark Andrews has a great schedule. Kincaid, when healthy, was an every week starter at the tight end position. If you wanted to say Strange or Waller, because Strange was getting the targets, Waller maybe a bigger upside play than Andrews or Kincaid. I think Andrews and Kincaid would be the two that I would personally roll with here.
Is Kincaid playing this week?
He was not practicing on Wednesday, but today's practice report will be pretty indicative of what's going on. Or maybe they might not. I don't know if the NFL has practice reports today. If you're not playing on Thanksgiving, they might not be practicing today because it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Dude, I'm agreeing with you at this point. I think it's Kincaid and Andrews. But the tight end position is so ambiguous where I would not be shocked if you asked us next week that it would be literally Strange and Waller.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't shock me either.
Strange came back, 5 targets, had 93 receiving yards, and realistically, given the wide receiver injuries, what's stopping him from being a key function in the offense? Like, he was getting targets before he got hurt, too. I mean, Waller, like, do I even have to explain myself? In the 3 games he played, he had 2 top 5 scoring weeks.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a tricky comment.
Caleb versus Burrow. I would go Burrow there. I prefer I don't really like Eagles on the road on a Friday. That's not a great situation for me with Caleb. And then Bucky versus Amari and Hampton. I think it's pretty much all but guaranteed Bucky is going to play. That being said, I think if Amari and Hampton is playing, I would rather play Hampton.
We're already hearing reports that Bucky's going to be on a pitch count. We got the report from Todd
maybe
Bowles
Bridgewater's the starter.
Bridgewater starter. We're also we got the report from Todd Bowles. Not only a pitch count, but you know what the exact wording of the phrase was? I'm sure you do because you're a Bucs fan. But he quite literally said he could have similar usage to what Godwin got this week. Is what he said. Like in regards to Bucky in his return. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, Nick messaged me something in the Discord that I was half focused on there.
Hey, you lagged out for a second. How many snaps did Godwin play last week? Because that was like a pretty interesting quote. He played 36% of the snaps, and Bulls basically said, like, yeah, Bucky might get a similar usage.
It's going to be this week. It will be a 3-way timeshare at running back. Tucker will get carries, Rashad will get receiving work, and Bucky will mix in both scenarios. That would be what's going to happen if I had to guess. So if you don't have to start Bucky Irving this week, like, I have Bucky Irving ranked this week as my RB 27. He's not in every week starter territory. If you got to throw Bucky Irving out there instead of Aaron Jones with Max Brosmer against the Seahawks, sure. But if you have like Devin Neal, who's going to be who's going to be a starter this week, or if you have like DeAndre Swift or Tyrone Tracy or something, RJ Harvey, like there's no way I'm starting Bucky Irving.
You have Sean Tucker higher
than Bucky?
Yeah.
No, I have Sean at 32.
Okay. Because that was the one I was debating. I'm like, Tucker versus Bucky. Like, I have him 28
with Bucky back,
right
Sean
now.
Tucker's probably close to unstartable.
Really, eh?
Yeah.
I thought, given how he played last week, given the split, that maybe he'd be working ahead.
He's going to get, but each of these guys will get like 10 touches. So, probably. I mean, I'll take the best player of the 3 of them as the highest ranked one. So, which is Bucky. So, Tyler Warren or Jameson Williams in the flex standard scoring. I mean, both guys are touchdown threats for sure.
I'll go with
it's a better matchup for Indianapolis than it is for Detroit.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably go with Warren there.
I think I'd go with Warren as well.
You going Pittman or Watson? Oh, pretty straightforward. I'm going Pittman. That's pretty easy.
Yeah, I got Pittman higher, but I will say Watson is my highest ranked of the Green Bay wide receivers. We'll talk about my pick entry later, but I know you actually picked a Watson higher. I picked a Dobbs lower.
Yeah,
just because since he came back, dude, Dobbs since Watson came back is only averaging 43.2 receiving yards per game and 6.4 half PPR points per game.
Yeah, I'm glad I picked the Watson higher because when I picked that Watson higher, it was trending like Reed and Golden were both going to be active and both got ruled out. So that's kind of huge for the Watson higher because it's probably set higher now than what it was before.
Give me Mike Gesicki with no Higgins.
Yeah, I agree. I think but likely just hasn't had a role this year versus last year.
Assuming he play, I mean, it's tough because JMO plays today. I like Devin Neal, man. I'd rather
play Jameson Williams. I think
it's a close call. It's like low end RB2, RB3, low end or wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. Like they're both in like the 20 through 26 range respectively in their position. The reason why I am optimistic on Neal is that he played 74% of the snaps and 69% of the routes, and I thought he was a 3-tone profile coming out of college. I do think that's the opportunity with no Kamara. They can really showcase and see what they got in him.
Yeah, especially against Miami. It's a good matchup. Yeah. I just think that the Lions at home are a different animal when it comes to scoring points. So I just want to piece that.
Yeah, it's a very close call. If you want to go with the security of JMO, I don't blame you because, like you said, the Lions at home.
It's crazy to call him the security of JMO for what it's worth.
I mean, like he had the goose egg this week, but like realistically, out of the bye week, he's been as secure as out of the bye week, I would have preferred him over Roma Dunze's points. That's for sure.
I'm pretty sure Jameson Williams has as many top 5 weeks as goose eggs this year.
That's kind of tippable, bro. You know you're getting everything or nothing.
He has 2 goose eggs, and he has more goose eggs than top 5 weeks, but he has 4 top 12 scoring weeks and 2 goose eggs. Truly the better and best ball wide receiver, Jameson Williams. Start one out of Zay, Dowdle, and Amari and Hampton. I think you got to go with Rico there. Zay has a really good matchup though, but you probably have to go with Rico's workload.
Yeah. I'll give credit to Zay. It's a good matchup. The issue that I might have is I also have Derrick Henry like RB6 this week. So it's tough. Like if Derrick Henry touches the ball 25 times and scores 3 touchdowns, we could have a similar scenario to the Ravens passing game like we've seen. But realistically, I think the Bengals are going to put up another fight. I think the +7 is one of my favorite lines of the day. I think Bengals getting 7 points, given the must-win nature of the game. Like if Burrow's in the lineup, like they're not going to go out sad. Like I think if they're going to lose this game, they're going to at least make it competitive.
Like what's crazy? You say you like the 7 points. You'd think, okay, Burrow's active, the line's going to move. It's actually gone more in favor of Baltimore since then.
It's kind of crazy.
7.5 now.
I'm assuming maybe people were anticipating it since the weekend, so like the announcement didn't really change anybody's thoughts. But
that's how it was going to be stacked up regardless. But even with Flacco, I think it was probably like it would have been about a 7.5 point total if Flacco was starting, right? Like, would it be 10 points with Flacco?
Yeah, probably. I mean, if it was Flacco, you can even make the case that it could have been
that Ravens team that barely beat the Jets.
Dude, the thing with the Ravens though is like. Yeah, but at the same time, they're just so trustworthy in these type of spots, knowing that their back's against the wall. Like we've seen this from them before. I mean, I guess you could say the same about the Bengals. Like that's why I think the +7 is a good mark because realistically, I think it's just gonna be a competitive game.
Yeah, Mozzie's asleep on the couch beside me, and it's the cutest.
Mozzie Smith. Mozzie Smith.
Yeah, I named him after Mozzie Smith. No, I got a kitten like 3-4 weeks ago, and he's literally asleep on the chair where you and I record our in-person videos. It's hilarious.
Hey, don't kill me. You got your own Mozzie Smith. Now I
do have my own Mozzie Smith. He's probably better at stopping the run than yours.
Probably.
Chase Brown or Genty. You got to go Chase Brown in this matchup. It's way too good of a matchup.
Call me crazy, Corey. Because I picked Chase Brown's higher than 80.5 rushing plus receiving. And that really got me to look at his rest of season ranking. Is he quietly top 10 running back rest of season?
Probably.
Like they're gonna have situations.
You can make the argument for Chase Brown over Saquon Barkley rest of season pretty easily.
I have it ranked that way. And I'm looking at right now Chase Brown versus like Kyron and Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I think there's not a whole lot separating him and Kyron Williams, especially like I haven't moved him up really since the whole Burrow news broke that he's going to be playing games, but I probably should move Chase Brown at least into that tier.
I can get him up to 8th overall running back. That's the highest I can go. Because then at 7+, you got like Jacobs, Cook, Achane, Bijan. Like, can't get there, but
number 8, have him call me crazy, but I think I'd rather have him than Rico Dowdle too.
I have him higher too. I just moved him up to 8, and the only guys that I was contemplating was Javonte, Kyron, Derek. But man, he's played so well. He's been so efficient. He looks like the Chase Brown that dominated on the stretch, and they're going to have to score 30 points a game if they want to have a chance to make the playoffs. Like, this screams 2024 end of the season Chase Brown. And I said this mid-season. I'm sure you remember on the trade targets video.
Yep.
But I basically said, if anybody's going to have a chance to be like this year's version of what Jonathan Taylor was down the stretch run, I actually think Chase Brown's got a big claim at it.
Chase Brown could be this year's Chase Brown.
He could be this year's Chase Brown and maybe save some of my bags in my best ball.
Yeah, he could save some of mine too.
Nice.
So Tito asked this question a bunch of times. Again, he didn't know, so we'll answer the first one, then we'll try and sort through the rest.
Be empathetic.
Watson, Flowers, Diggs, Olave, Nico Collins. So Collins got to be in your lineup. I think that Olave has to be in your lineup given his target share as well. It would come down to me between Flowers and Diggs. Do you have a lean there between Flowers and Diggs?
So the thing is, Olave went down in practice. We don't really have much of an update there. Nico's obviously going in your lineup.
So if Olave doesn't play, then you kind of need Diggs as the pivot option because both Watson and Flowers play today. So I would probably just throw Flowers out there with Collins and Olave as the initial plan. And then if Olave doesn't play, you play Steph.
So in relation to where I have these guys ranked in order. So I have Nico Collins as my wide receiver 9 this week against Indianapolis. I have Chris Olave, assuming he plays. He's at 17 right now because I don't have as much information as possible in the injury. But if he's cleared full go, you can even make the argument of him closer to like 14 where I have Ibuka. I think that's a possibility there. The others, though, Flowers I have at 20, just after Michael Pittman Jr. and Justin Jefferson. Christian Watson, 28. Stephon Diggs at 27.
Yeah. No, those all sound pretty reasonable to me.
Sir.
32-man league. Need 2 flexes. Wow. Bam, Hodgins, Likely, and Vele.
So Vele is going to be impossible to answer until I know what's up with Olave. Because if Olave is out, you can make a case that Vele should be in this combo.
Yeah, I think I would go with Bam for sure because Benson, even if he plays, is coming off a multi-week absence. I think Bam would probably still get a decent amount of touches. I mean, playing Likely in a game environment with a 52.5 point over
against the Bengals,
probably not the worst call either, especially knowing that they're the worst team in the league against tight ends.
And that's my gross one tonight. It's like I can totally see Likely having like the Loveland game from a few weeks ago against the Bengals. Like 7 catches, 95 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and everybody's going to be talking about him on the waiver wire as if
I talked about it in my TikTok about my picks for this game. You know, the last 3 tight ends that have played against the Bengals have season highs in receiving yards. Yeah.
Oh,
one of them was Darnell Washington, the other Hunter Henry and Colston Loveland.
Yeah, no,
all of their season highs in receiving yards the last 3 weeks have come against the Cincinnati Bengals defense.
They legit cannot cover tight ends. Like that's one thing I noticed, especially in the Loveland game. Like, hey, by the way, Loveland game, I will still remember being slightly on the stream delay because of the dirty laptop screen. And I just see because obviously, like, you know, I'll swipe a notification or respond to a message on my phone or whatever while I'm watching. And I just see notifications pop up on Twitter. And it's just everybody tweeting out all caps, Loveland. And then I watch the play and he breaks the tackle and runs it in. I'm like, oh, that's $700. Let's go.
Yeah, that was kind of obscene. Also, shout out to Reese. He sent me a trade offer this morning. Unfortunately, Reese, I'm not going to be accepting T. Higgins, Woody Marks, and a 4th for Devon Achane, but I appreciate the effort in getting Devon Achane from me in the listener league.
I'd love Achane.
Which 3-4 wide receivers to start? Michael Wilson, T-Mac, Worthy, and AJ Brown. I think, not starting Worthy is a pretty easy one there.
Yeah.
No, I would not. Yeah, I definitely would rather start Dobbs.
Yeah. Wicks is just so unreliable.
They rotate him out in terms of like drive by drive and like where he's playing. Like he's just not reliable enough. This is
Jacoby Brissett.
This is the breaking point on Joe Burrow to me is would you start him over Jacoby Brissett? That's exactly in the rankings where he falls for me. And I would, in fact, start Jacoby Brissett over him, just especially if Marvin's going to play too. Like that also goes a long way.
I love Jacoby Brissett. Question for you, because I obviously with Marv, he's expected to play is the recent news that we got on him. So how are you ranking in relation of Marv versus Michael Wilson?
I have Michael Wilson and Marv within 3 spots of each other. I have Marvin Harrison at 20, and I have Michael Wilson at 24.
Because I had Michael Wilson when I was assuming Marv wasn't going to play as my wide receiver 12.
Yeah, he'd be a top 15 receiver for me if Marvin wasn't going to play. But knowing that, I think Marvin being a limited participant, I saw Dr. Morris tweet out, he's like, I expect Marvin to play now that he's back at practice. And I'm like, okay, that's good to know. And I'll make that if you guys are wondering, is Marvin going to play or not? You say what you want about Jesse Morris on Twitter. He is pretty accurate when it comes to determining who's going to be in and who's going to be out. And he's like, I expect Harrison to play now that he's back at practice.
You know, he knows his P's and Q's when it comes to injury. It's just when he tries to make a fantasy take on it, that's when I'm like, okay, like that's a little bit.
Yeah, like I'll take the injury analysis for sure. Rico or Tracy?
Rico.
Yeah, that's pretty easily Rico, I think. Yeah. I thought Neal was an insane prospect. Excited to see how he plays out this week. I think Taysom Hill will be a factor. If you guys need a streaming tight end, I think Taysom Hill is a good option. I'd be curious to see what the split looks like, though. I don't imagine it'll be crazy.
Yeah, no doubt.
A couple more touches with Taysom without Kamara out there, though.
It might impact his rush share. There's no denying. Like we did see the Saints relatively mix in their rushing attempts. We saw, for example, 10 from Taysom Hill, 7 from Tyler Shuck with some design carries there. We only realistically saw 7 carries from Neal. But the thing that gets me so excited is he is the best pure runner on the team in terms of at the running back position. We're probably not going to see 17 design touches between the quarterback and Taysom Hill this week. And on top of that, the receiving usage is the big factor. Olave, whether he plays or not, if Olave's banged up in this game too, and maybe instead of 11 targets, he commands 8, like Neal has shown that he is so calm, he can work in space, and he can be a reliable receiving target out of the backfield. Like 69% of the routes, and you're realistically first fill-in as the starter is impressive. Like they could have supplemented Taysom Hill as the third down back if they wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they're going to use him more for sure. There's no doubt about that. They're going to use him more, and he could snipe a goal line touch or something like that. But that's kind of that's a fear that you can't really let get in your way if you're going to start Devin Neal. You got to just be like, I'm going to start him, and if Taysom Hill snipes me on the goal line, so be it.
Because Neal was like the biggest contentious topic, I would say, like for a lot of people on the waiver wire. Like I'm pro Neal because I like the prospect. And I was like, yo, if you need a running back and you need a spot play in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to go 40+% of my budget. Because at this point in the year, all that matters is making the playoffs. But a lot of people were like more apprehensive. But look at the rush share, this and that. It's like, keep in mind, it was a day 3 running back's first fill-in as the starter, and he impressed. You don't think that rush share is going to change going forward when we don't see, like I said, 17 combined design touches from Taysom Hill and Tyler Shuck?
Yeah, no, exactly.
Just want to bring that up because I know a lot of people were talking about
a lot of people are apprehensive on Neal this week for sure.
Yeah.
Love Purdy or pick up Tua. I would start Jordan Love today before I play Purdy or Tua.
That's close for me. I have
at Cleveland. I don't want that smoke for Brock.
Yeah.
I don't want that smoke.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And honestly, I'm gonna move Brock down the tier. I had Brock. Oh shoot, I missed.
I have Brock at 17 and Love at 12. Like it actually isn't even really that close for me.
Yeah, I definitely don't have Love at 12. I have Love at 17, and I have Purdy at 19.
I don't have Dart ranked yet.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have Dart over Love yet. He's at 15, just apprehensively. Maybe he doesn't play or something like that. But once he gets announced, and he'll be in my top 10.
Yeah, just like with all due respect, like Love's averaging 15.7 points per game. Like I don't think he should be in the top 12 combo given how Nick's scale.
Well, and I should probably move him down a little bit too, because part of this was factoring in maybe if Reed and Golden had played.
Or if Jacobs is limited, but he got a full practice.
Yeah. So I'll move Love down to 15 because now that Reed and Golden are both ruled out, I probably wouldn't start him over Goff and Caleb and those guys. But
actually, he's going to 18 for me because honestly, there's just no way, given the volume we've seen from Green Bay, that I can play him over Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence has scored 20+ points in 2 of his last 4 games, and he has a cupcake. I would go Lawrence. But with that being said, I would still. Are there any other options on the wire?
And Tua.
Are there other options on the wire though? Because like realistically, if you could, maybe you can't pick up a Jacoby Brissett because he's been too good. He's probably not on waivers anymore. But yeah, that's the challenge.
Goff is highly rostered. Dart's highly rostered. Burrow and Knicks are highly rostered. The only one you maybe have a chance of getting is Caleb Williams, who I have at least ranked higher. I would not start Sam Darnold over him personally.
I would go Darnold, but like again, he's probably rostered too because he's been good. Call me crazy, dude. I think Trevor Lawrence probably the biggest slept on quarterback this week.
He was one of my top streamers this week. So yeah,
there we go.
I don't disagree. Rico, Kenneth Walker, or Gainwell this week. You got to go Rico Dowdle there. Yeah. But Kenneth Walker's a great start as well.
I'm going Gadsden. The Chiefs, realistically, a much tougher matchup overall. And Ferguson he's not moving as well as he did earlier in the year. Just as a Cowboys fan take, he's probably going to get, the peppered with the underneath targets. But I saw him get beat to the corner by a 370-pound Jordan Davis against the Eagles. That actually happened.
Yeah.
Are we looking at Jason Witten at this point?
So
that's what he is.
Based on his question here, though, would you start Jake Ferguson knowing that you'd have the pivot option to Gadsden if Devontae Smith doesn't play tomorrow? Or would you just start Gadsden and then pivot to DJ Moore in that situation? Because they're in the same game.
I think if that's the case, I don't mind having it as a pivot, because even though I'm talking shit on Ferguson, realistically, he's going to have touchdown equity for an offense playing as well as it has.
Well, if that's the case, or is Devontae projected to be out? He
missed practice. Yeah, he didn't practice. That was the thing.
Yeah,
because I know
I think Smitty's in line to be out.
Did you watch the Cowboys Eagles game at all?
Yeah,
or just highlights.
Yeah.
Okay. So the play he made down the field where he adjusted on the Jalen Hurts deep ball. He contorted his body, came down with it. So he got hurt with what's described as chest, and there was a chest and back,
shoulder maybe, or something like back. Yeah,
I think it happened on that play. And funny enough, obviously big completion, but if Hurts puts it where it needs to be, that's a walk-in touchdown. In his
I mean, there's about 5 plays like that of Devontae Smith this season. Where remember the one play where he overthrew him on a 75-yard touchdown in week 3 or whatever it was.
And now I'll give credit to Hurts overall, because I think at the start of the game he was playing really well. But dude, I'm telling you, Corey, not even just saying this as a Cowboys fan, that guy, when he gets pressure on him at this point, becomes a fucking pumpkin. And I don't know what's going on, but dude, that's specifically on the 3rd down and 2 that they could have, got the first down, got into field goal range, potentially won the game. His reaction to Osa's pressure immediately, he just basically fell down. He didn't even try to make a play. He didn't try to extend it. He didn't try to find it. He fell down. And I'm like, that's, as much as shit as I like talking about Hurts, that wasn't what we saw last year.
No, it wasn't. It definitely was not.
Is it just confidence and feel for the offense at this point? Is that why all these Eagles players are just fucking pissed at each other?
I guess.
After the game, we have Hurts basically saying, AJ Brown, I hope you enjoyed your production, or something like that. Or not exactly in those words, but that's kind of how it implied. Or I hope AJ enjoyed that volume or some bullshit.
It's weird. It's really weird that they have this animosity towards each other. This is to answer Vic's question, though. I would start Jake Ferguson today and use Gadsden as the pivot option.
I would do that too, knowing the context.
So just so you know, Justin, the market was 7 spots lower on James Cook than we were, and 9 spots lower than I was on James Cook.
Yeah, I would say the main gripe for what I had with Cook in relation to obviously what he's been. Obviously, I like the player going into last year. He was one of my favorite must-draft breakouts. I was drafting him, round 3, round 4 every time. The thing that gave me pause this offseason, part of it obviously was the contract stuff, but part of it was the fact that he had 245 opportunities in 16 games. Corey, he's already
18 touchdowns last year.
And 18 touchdowns, of course. He is at 225 opportunities in 11 games this year. There's just a stark difference in terms of how they're using him. In terms of being low on James Cook, I was never low on James Cook, the talent. I thought he was a very, very good player. It's just when you had to make the purchase in some leagues, running back heavy leagues, more of a mid-3rd round pick, that's where I was off. If you took him at the 3-4 turn, you took him in the early 4th, that's about where I was. But in the mid-3rd, my pause was a 245 opportunity running back in 16 games. That was my pause, because that's just not a lot of volume.
No, it isn't. But he's been awesome. In our draft guide, he's ranked 33 overall for me, which is way higher than most. The expert consensus on him was 44. Yeah, I was way I was higher 9 spots. I was 11 spots higher.
Where was I?
Spots higher. We were at 37, which was 7 spots higher than consensus. So, and I also have 11.5% of him on Underdog too. So I don't feel low on James Cook whatsoever. Obviously, he isn't what I thought he would be. He's been better than I even expected him to be. But part of my thesis on him was, well, don't you think after an 18 touchdown on 200, whatever touches it was, he might get more volume? That was kind of my point at the end of the offseason. I was like, I think he might just get more work.
And I started to adjust him because of that fact. But part of it for me too is Ray Davis, he looked good as a rookie. Yeah, it's James Cook's backfield, but given the contract dispute, given the lack of training camp, maybe we see some more Ray Davis specifically earlier on. That was kind of the stance I was on.
I remember saying I remember saying after he got paid that that he might get the most touches of his career. Yeah. I remember also saying that, like, if they didn't pay him, then I would be more worried about Ray Davis. But once they paid him, I was not worried about him.
Yeah, that was definitely more me than you, but even still, we just kind of went through it. I was still higher than consensus on him in terms of where the site had him. So even though I had like trepidation with the projection, I still said 37th overall, 401. If you want to take him there, that's fine. Now, obviously, he's paid off at a top 15 level, but like, I don't know, low in terms of what he is, sure, but low in terms of where consensus was. I don't necessarily think we were.
Yeah, and it pisses me off that the thesis on James Cook is precisely the thesis on Jackson Smith-Njigba, and I didn't get there with JSN. Like, it was just, I'm going to just draft a really good young player on a great offense with like shown proven track record of being great.
Well, I will pat you on the back for one thing too, because as high as you were on Bucky, you always said, you're like, yeah, dude, like if we're drafting Bucky in the second round, like what is different with drafting James Cook? And like a lot of people are like, oh, but Bucky this, Bucky that. It's like, James Cook is what we wanted Bucky to be this year. Like
exactly
if you told me
what we wanted Bucky to be. And for what it's worth, when Bucky was healthy, he was averaging 18 points per game. So he was what James Cook has been also.
Yeah. But like, you know, in terms of like the efficient runner, again, like he's got a great workload. Don't get me wrong. 225 opportunities.
But he doesn't get Jonathan Taylor's workload.
Yeah. He gets there because he's averaging 5.45 yards per carry on, I mean, what? He's top 5 talent-wise running back, top 7 talent-wise running back in the league.
And a beast, man.
If I had to ask you in terms of like who are your top 5 to 7 running backs, I think 5 is a little bit harsh because I think you're leaving a couple guys out. But like for me, any combo of like JT, Jahmyr Gibbs, Bijan Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, because like when you account for the receiving game, but if you're counting pure runners, probably not going to make that list.
Yeah, I mean Barkley and Henry haven't been that this year, so you can't really put them there.
It's tough with McCaffrey because I'm talking like the totality of what he brings as a running back, like. His value as a receiver, you can make the case, makes him like the RB1 in the league.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's where I kind of have pause. But like, who would you label the top 5 running backs right now?
Devon Achane needs to be in there.
I agree. No, I mentioned his name. He's unreal. I would
say Jacobs, James Cook, those type of guys would probably be the next group. But anyways, let's try and get through some more questions here. Again, if you're just joining us and you submitted a question on the site, anybody who submitted a question, the site is currently not working right now, the streamer mode for us. We cannot access the question. So anybody who submitted a question, there is 13 start set questions, 1 review, and 1 trade question. We will send you a free voucher. And then we can also answer this question on Sunday by the time the site is back up. If it's still relevant, we'll just answer it and you don't have to even use your voucher on it. But if it's not relevant, then you got a free voucher. No harm, no foul there. So RJ Harvey versus Javonte Williams this week. You got to go Javonte Williams still, even though RJ Harvey has a better matchup, I would say, than Javonte does.
Yeah, I think you got to go Javonte. I do have some pause. Again, I'll talk about it in terms of my pick 'em this week. The Chiefs' red zone rushing defense specifically is just absolute nails this year. And Javonte hasn't caught more than 2 passes in his last 5 games. So I have pause in terms of his overall point projection, but at the same time, you're getting the overall workload. You're getting a good player. You're getting an offense that's going to score points. Even though that the Chiefs have been good in the red zone, at the same time, I mean, with the way the Cowboys offense is played, they might very well have 4 or 5 red zone trips in this game.
Yeah. No, they definitely could. What up, fellas? What's going on, Cats? Marks or Diggs in a flex? I'm taking Stephon Diggs there, Galaxy. That one's pretty straightforward. I'm going to try and speed through the ones that are easy here. Burrow or Brissett. I mean, we just had this conversation. If you want to go Brissett, especially with Harrison probably coming back, and you said, what do I do with Harrison and Michael Wilson? I mean, they're both inside my top 24 receivers. If you're starting Brissett and you want to start both of them, I don't think that's outrageous whatsoever.
When Brissett's going to throw the ball 45 times again, game, all 3 of those guys in relation to Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Trey McBride can eat.
And if you get a full practice out of Marvin over the next 2 games, which I suspect we will, then I would start Harrison over Wilson. Because if you're wondering, I can just start one of them because I only have one starting spot, I would probably start Harrison unless we see some kind of limited pitch count stuff from Harrison.
That's close, man. Like,
it's appendicitis. It's not like a lower body injury that he's coming back from. I think that as long as he gets in a full practice and we don't hear Gannon say he's going to be ramped up or he's on a pitch count or something like that, I would start him over Wilson.
I guess, but like, even if it's only appendicitis, like he takes the wrong hit to the wrong spot, like that should be a factor. And it's more so less of that. That's
cleared that already.
I get that. That's a very minor concern. The major concern for me is just more so the way Michael Wilson has played. Like, he looks better than at any point Marvin Harrison Jr. played this year.
He does. He does. But I think a lot of that has just been driven by volume of the offense. And I think that volume will spill over onto Marvin Harrison. I think exactly what has happened to Michael Wilson the last 2 games would have happened to Marvin Harrison had he been playing.
I don't know if I would be comfortable saying that he would have 33 targets and 25 receptions in the last 2 games.
I think he would have. He's starting to play better, and the offense is just absolutely running gunning right now.
Dude, I think he would have. Like, that's 16 and a half targets and 12 and a half receptions per game.
But if Michael, dude, did you think Michael Wilson was a good receiver up until 2 weeks ago?
No, but like stylistically, the role he plays in the offense just simply is going to be more valuable to fantasy, though.
I guess, but like Harrison would have played that role if he was healthy.
I disagree. Marv is the true X wide receiver. Like we're seeing Michael Wilson being used more in like a power slot role. We're getting him underneath targets. We're getting him yak opportunities. Like I love Marv.
We'll see what happens. I just tend to think that Harrison will go right back to being the number 1 here.
Like, respect to Marv, but realistically, he had 62 targets in 9 games played. Michael Wilson has 33 in the last 2 games. Like, just assuming that would happen, I just think is foolish.
I'm not assuming that would happen. I just think the level of breakout that we just saw from Michael Wilson, maybe it's not to the exact level that we saw. I think that Harrison was set to have his best couple games in a row, though, of the season. Sure.
He might have been set to have his best games in a row, but Michael Wilson has 55 fantasy points in his last 2 games.
No, he's been a beast. I picked him up. In our listener redraft league, I cannot believe you guys let me get him for the last. I needed a flex spot fill in for 2 weeks, and it does not get any better than Michael Wilson has been the last 2 weeks for a flex spot fill in.
I don't think you bid on him. I didn't have any money.
Oh, okay. Well, like I needed a flex spot fill in for 2 games because I had some buys, and I got Michael Wilson, who has been an absolute machine.
This guy's like, you guys are dumb because I outbid you by 2 when you had $0 in budget left.
To be fair, I only bid like $2 on him, and no one else bid.
I have 0.
I know, but no one else even put a claim in for him.
I did.
Did you? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, no one else put a dollar amount claim in for him.
I mean, I picked up Mason Taylor, by the way, for free in a tight end premium. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
Young stash.
Neil Odunze, Monungai, Myers, or Jennings for 1 flex spot. Thank you. I think you got to go Rome there.
Probably Neil, bro.
I wouldn't start Neil over Rome. Not coming into the game banged up and playing for the New Orleans Saints offense. It's a bad matchup for Rome, but I think that Caleb is going to have to throw in that game, and I kind of want to just trust the target share.
I have Rome wide receiver 23 this week.
He's like he's like about that range for me too, but I just would prefer to start. I have Neil at like RB 24 and Rome at like our wide receiver 22. I'd just rather start Rome.
Fair enough. I have Neil at 24 and Rome at 23, so I don't mind that call. It's just
what's up, fellas? Love the show. Appreciate that. Half PPR. Pick my wide receiver 2, running back 2, and flex. So he needs 3.
Jones here. Injury. Which Jones, Spicy? Oh, Daniel Jones suffered a fractured fibula.
Oh shit!
Holy fuck!
That is not good for your boys' best ball bags.
I mean, you got already a big payoff, and now at least my A-Rich isn't completely.
Jones will continue to try and play through it.
Okay, so he's a psychopath. Got it. Fractured fibula, you're gonna fucking play through it? Apparently. What are we talking about? What if his leg snaps in half?
I don't know.
What are we playing through? What do we do? Come on, Danny. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
That is kind of wild. I have Daniel Jones in my home league, and I might. This is not an injury he's concerned about. I would be pretty concerned, Daniel. You know what? I might be. He was full practice today with a fractured fibula.
This guy's kind of just a monster, I suppose.
Dog, that's kind of wild.
Shout out to Daniel Jones. Hey, if Daniel Jones plays the whole season and doesn't miss any games because of this, I appreciate the service to my best ball bags, sir. Please don't make Anthony Richardson a league-winning best ball pick. That would piss me off to no end to be correct about the take about Daniel Jones and then have Anthony Richardson be the guy that you need. That would piss me off to no end.
I have a little bit of A-Rich, I can't lie. Because like I heard as simple of a take as it was. But Corey, if I told you that it was a round 18 pick and you would get 3 top 7 quarterback weeks on a year, you would take that chance every single time. So it's like,
it would be better if it was a round 18 pick and you got 17 weeks of top 12 quarterback play like I've gotten out of Daniel.
No. I'm just saying in relation to A-Rich, like if he plays, he's going to be a top 7 fantasy quarterback.
No, he's not. He's too shit at football.
Dude, Justin
he'll be a top 15. He'll be Justin Fields is what he'll be.
I mean, Justin Fields had like 28-point weeks. I mean, specifically in best ball. If you want to put him in your lineup in a managed league, okay, maybe that's one thing. But like
top 7 fantasy quarterback indicates every week starter territory. He's probably a top 15 quarterback where he'd have a couple good weeks. Anyways, to answer this question, Andrew, Ladd, Rico Dowdle, and I probably don't want to mess with either of Bucky or Devontae Smith this week because I'd probably go Harvey there. I mean, you'll know going into Sunday's game if Devontae Smith played or not. So I would play a healthy Devontae Smith over RJ Harvey, but it doesn't look like he's going to play. So I'd probably just go with Ladd, Rico Dowdle, and Harvey. But if Smith plays, I would play him over Harvey. Alex said, this is my team this week. Any changes? Okay. May, Henderson, Harvey, Wandale, JSN, McBride, Jetta's bench.
Go ahead, Judkins or Harvey?
First off, I'm playing Emeka over Wandale Robinson.
I would too.
I'm playing Emeka over Wandale Robinson, and I would play Judkins over Harvey as well.
Yeah, those are the two differences I would.
Those would be the two changes I would make. Would you play Wandale or Harvey over Jefferson in the flex?
Wandale, Harvey. As gross as this sounds,
I'm not playing Wandale.
Close.
I refuse to. I'm not
doing it. But I'll tell you right now, I have Wandale at 22 and Jefferson at 18, and that's the closest they will ever be.
Yeah, I have Jefferson at 18 and Wandale at 25. So yeah, they're pretty close for me as well. But yeah, those are the changes that we would make there. T-Mac, Wandale, Wilson, and Diggs start 2 full PPR. So T-Mac's the automatic for me.
T-Mac, Wilson.
If Marv plays,
dude, I completely went over this. I completely forgot he got hurt. I completely forgot
he busted his eye open or whatever. Who would start for them?
Do they still have like Riley Leonard?
Yeah, I think so. I was thinking, I'm like, do they still have who was the Texas quarterback that they had?
Ellinger. Sam Ellinger.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. Actually, I would go with, now that I think about this, I would start Stephon Diggs over both Wandale and Michael Wilson. With Marvin back. If Marvin was out, I would start Wilson over him.
I just think the pass volume is going to be able to feed all 3 of those guys.
I mean, probably.
Jacoby might, like, in a pass funnel matchup, and he's already been dropping back and throwing 45 attempts per game. The guy might throw legitimately 60 times against you guys.
He might, but like Drake May and Stephon Diggs feels like a better projection to me.
Diggs is solid, but he's volatile. And at least with Wilson, like
the Giants, though. It's the Giants.
If Wilson's gonna play this well, I don't want to sit him.
I know. But if Marvin plays, I would go with Diggs personally.
But even with the upside that Marv could be like not on a full-time route share.
Why wouldn't he though? It's appendicitis.
I don't want to sit Wilson with how he's played. That's really what it comes down to. Even if there's mouths to feed, like in typical situations, I would agree. Okay, process. Like if you have 2 situations where they're both 30 to 35 attempt projections, like okay, you go with the number 1. But I think the Cardinals might genuinely throw the ball 50 plus times per game going forward.
Yeah.
Like the Cardinals right now feel like the start of the 2020 season for the Cowboys. In terms of like they just throw fucking football.
Yeah, they're just going to fire it all over the yard.
Fire it.
Browns or Texans defense here. This Browns against the 49ers at home. Texans defense versus
a Colts. Give me the Browns with the way Purdy's played, dude. Give me the Browns with the way Purdy's played.
I'll take the Tech. The Texans sacked Josh Allen 8 times. What are they going to do to Daniel Jones with a fractured leg?
35.5 over-under game at home.
Yeah, that's a really low over-under. I mean, you could definitely convince me on either of those. I'm more scared of the 49ers than I am of the Colts right now, knowing how well the Texans will be able to stop the run against Jonathan Taylor.
I think that's wild to say you're more afraid of the 49ers than the Colts right now.
I am. I'm more afraid of the 49ers.
Why?
Purdy played that bad, and they still were able to like move the ball no problem.
They won 20-9.
He also threw 3 interceptions, though. He's not going to throw 3 interceptions again.
I mean, and Bryce Young was fucking horrible. They had short fields, and they still couldn't put up points on the Panthers.
I know. That's a close call, though. Both probably the 2 best defenses in football, so you can't really go wrong there. If you want to take the Browns because they're at home, that would be a good tiebreaker, I think.
Yeah, I just more so think like with the way the Colts have played all year, like they're 9-3, like they've been a top 5 offense all year. The 49ers offense looks broken right now.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Zay, Egbuka, Devontae Smith, Odunze, or QJ start 3. So you're not going to know. I mean, here's an easy answer. You start Zay today for sure, in my opinion. Egbuka, you're going to start as well. And then if Devontae Smith doesn't play, you play Odunze in the same game. That would be how I would play it.
You could start 3.
Start 3, Zay, Igbuka, and then Smith. But if Smith doesn't play, you play Odunze.
Oh, I counted. Dude, I'm an idiot. Yeah, okay. I can do that. For whatever reason, I thought there was 4 total listed, and the guy at the end was QJ. So I was gonna say like, oh, you start the 3, and then QJ would fit in for Smith, but there was 5 total names. My bad.
Yeah, very depressed about fantasy this year. Rome Odunze fucking.
Oh, dude, you're preaching to the choir.
Neither has performed. Puka will be just fine. I wouldn't be too worried about him.
I'm not worried. But the legendary ceiling we placed on him, I don't think exists if they're going to run this much 13 personnel because the guy.
I also think the knee injury may be factoring into why he hasn't been as dominant too.
Yeah, like he's just not running enough routes. And again, he's so good to the point where Puka Nacua on 20 routes per game is as good as most guys on 27, 28, 29 routes per game.
Yep.
But at the same time, that's a big time loss of volume. And he goes from the consensus true number 1 wide receiver to more of like a mid-end wide receiver one. Like I actually have Puka Nacua, I believe, wide receiver 6 this week because I just think it is a factor. Like we have to account for the fact that Devontae Adams gets a lot of the red zone work and Puka Nacua is just not running as many routes.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Trade away Debo in a 3rd for Booty in a 2nd. If you're a rebuilder, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, seems like a decent little profit.
Benson, Amari, and Hampton, Bucky, Irving, RJ, Harvey, Woody, Marks. Rank them, please. I need a win this week. Benson would be clearly the lowest for me.
Is Harvey 1 or 2 for you?
Harvey is 1 for me.
Over Hampton?
Sorry, I have Hampton 1, assuming he's fully ready to go and no limitations.
Okay.
But I would say a healthy, fully ready to go Hampton, RJ Harvey, Bucky Irving, and then Benson is how I would rank it. But if they come out and say that Hampton's going to be on a similar situation to what Bucky is, which is like a pitch count of some kind, then I would put Harvey at 1.
Yeah, no, I think I would agree with that as well.
DK is a glorified tight end.
He is.
Full PPR. I can't tell if this is a question, but if it is, T-Mac would be my preference there, and Master.
Agreed.
Full PPR, start 1 running back, 1 flex. Dowdle, Hampton, Harvey, Alec Pierce, Tet, and Gadsden. I would go with
Dowdle for sure.
Probably the first 2, assuming Hampton is ready to go.
Yeah. And if Hampton isn't ready, you just pivot to Harvey. I think that's reasonable.
You play Harvey over Tet, though?
Ooh.
I'd probably just go with the 2 Panthers in that situation.
Ooh.
Or would you go with the 2 Panthers regardless if Hampton's ready to go or not? 2 Panthers against the Rams?
That's what gives me pause.
I think
if you have to start. So if you have to start 1 Panther first and foremost, you're going Dowd over Tet, right? I mean, I gotta address one thing
against the run, man.
I gotta address one thing. Rico Dowdle has 6 carries for 40 yards and 4 catches for 38 yards, and we're giving him 10 total fucking touches. Not to mention on the 1 fucking yard line, you're trusting shitty ass Bryce Young to throw a fucking ball and get it picked off instead of just giving it to the guy that's been the foundation of your offense. Like, you know how annoying it is watching the Panthers just dominate on the ground and then just feel like they have to throw the ball to keep Bryce happy? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm going to change my answer to T-Mac and Hampton because I have Dowdle at RB 15 and I have McMillan at wide receiver 15, and it's full PPR and it's a better matchup for McMillan.
I have, and honestly, I would agree. I have T-Mac higher at wide receiver than I have Dowdle at running back. So
I think Hampton, if healthy, is the guy that I would prefer. But if he's not ready to go, then I'm cool starting both Panthers. It's just a little risky.
Yeah, for sure.
Marks, Jalen Warren, Breece Hall, Harvey start 2.
Breece and Harvey?
Yeah, Breece and Harvey would be the 2 that I would start as well. 3 PPR, Lamb, Diggs, T-Mac, Christian Watson, Pierce, Franklin. He said I'm leaning Watson or starting Watson or T-Mac. Okay, so you're starting Lamb and Diggs.
Yeah.
I'd say Lamb, Diggs, and T-Mac are the easy ones.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be Lamb, T-Mac, Diggs.
Lamb, T-Mac, Diggs. Sorry. Yeah, I do have T-Mac head of Diggs.
Yeah.
I'm 11-1 and clinch the number 1 seed. I don't really care, but have Hampton and Irving coming back. Thought my team would be unstoppable, but now it sounds like both going into committees. Maybe for this week, Saber, but I can't imagine they'll be in committees come the fantasy playoffs once you're back from bye. You're not going to need these guys until week 16 after your bye week. So are Hampton and Bucky going to be in committees in week 16? I don't think so.
Like who genuinely cares about the week 13 projection? Like genuinely when you're 11-1?
No one does. Tight end, Jawan, Loveland, and Likely. Who do you have higher between Loveland and Jawan?
Loveland.
I have, Loveland a little bit higher, but they're pretty close for me. I'm 4-8 and lead the league in points scored. Hate fantasy. Yeah, that's brutal, dude. That's 4-8 with the most points scored.
Dude, and I thought I was unlucky because in my home league I'm 7-5 with the most points scored.
Yeah, 4-8 is brutal.
4-8's bad.
Okay, what else do we got?
I mean,
here?
this is a Corey coded question.
Zay or Ken Walker? Yeah, both of these guys are on my Flockley team. I would prefer Zay Flowers, especially in full PPR. It's a better matchup. And Walker's still on the injury report with that glute as a tiebreaker.
I have Walker RB 21, Zay wide receiver 20, and in a full PPR, I'd go with wide receiver 20.
Yeah, we're at about 12:02 p.m. by the way with the questions, and again, I will repeat one more time. If you guys asked a question on the site, we will send you a voucher to re-ask said question because the site is currently down, and the devs, it's Thanksgiving, they're not able to fix it for us. So if you asked a question wondering why you didn't get an answer, I apologize. Our rankings are all up to date. You can use that for an answer, and you will get a voucher in your inbox to be able to reuse on that. And,
going till 12:55.
Yeah, we'll go till 12:55. The one thing I was going to say is we can maybe share our underdog picks now if you want to do that.
I have them uploaded, so I will go quickly brief through mine. RB picks higher than 4.5 receptions for Jahmyr Gibbs, 19 receptions in his last 3 games, 34% targets per out run, 24% target share. It's clear that Dan Campbell wants to get this guy feature touches in space, and I do think with the Packers pass rush getting after them that we're going to see a ton of design work out of the backfield for him. So Gibbs 4.5, really like that. Kind of mentioned the details for Javonte Williams. I have the stats listed on my sheet, but if I'm remembering off the top of my head, Kansas City 4th fewest fantasy points allowed to running backs. 4th fewest red zone rushing yards allowed, and the 6th fewest red zone rushing touchdowns allowed. So it's going to be tough for Javonte. I think he's going to be really fine between the 20s. He's probably going to give you 20 carries, 83 rushing yards, that type of day. But the other thing with Javonte too, he hasn't had more than 2 receptions in any of his 5 games. So if he's not getting the goal line equity you would want to see, and he's also not getting the receiving usage, tough to see him getting over the top.
Or not, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I view it as well. And then Chase Brown higher than 80.5 rushing plus receiving yards. He's done this.
This is my favorite of the ones that you have.
Done this in each of his last 5 games. He's also run 74+% of the routes in each of those games as well. He's just an absolute monster, man. He's getting the usage. We know he's going to be there in terms of as a receiver, and his rushing efficiency is that to what we saw last year. Obviously, at the start of the year, he was the most inefficient running back in the league, but we're starting to see him play better. And to be honest, given the game environment, I think he can catch 6 or 7 passes.
Yeah, no, I absolutely, I agree with you. I think that's a good way to go about it. You want to do your wide receiver picks? Because mine are game by game. So if you want to just do your wide receiver picks, it would make sense. And then I'll go game by game with mine.
And spoiler, there's a very low hanging fruit, but I'll just say we know what you guys know what we like to say on this channel about the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Is this a CeeDee Lamb one? Yeah.
Yeah, higher than 14.15 fantasy points. And just hear me out. McDuffie has played 20.3% of his seasonal snaps in the slot. CeeDee Lamb, for reference, 15 plus slot snaps. 33% of his seasonal snaps from the slot this year. With the way George Pickens has been playing, I would assume that he's the higher priority for the Chiefs defense in this game. And as I kind of outlined, when they're in the red zone, it's hard to really run on the Chiefs. So I think this is the squeaky wheel game. I think Lamb reminds everybody of what he is. We're already hearing reports from Schottenheimer. They're going to keep keeping him involved in the game. And Lamb himself addressed the fact that he just has to hold on to the football. So I think he just reminds people of who he is. And I think we are able to see him get back to that level of play. On the inverse with Romeo Doubs, not great. Since Christian Watson has came back, 43.2 receiving yards per game, 6.4 half PPR points per game. We will be taking the lower on 9.05.
It hurts you that Reed and Golden got rolled out here, though.
Yeah, it definitely hurts in that regard. Either way, though, because he doesn't get very downfield targets, and because the touchdown equity he hasn't scored since week 4 hasn't been there, I do still like it even with the injury details. Andre Yoshivas, we were able to get at 33.5, I guess. So shout out Spicy. This was at 36.5 when I made the pick. There's no T. Higgins on the field. We're going to see probably 40 to 45 pass attempts from the Bengals. Joe Burrow down the stretch with the season on the line last year, 43 passing attempts per game, 320 passing yards per game. And Andre Yoshivas is going to run the full route share.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. Is Yoshivas? Yeah, that's 33.5 right now too. So
it went lower.
Yeah,
it's at 36.5.
Lower. Yeah. But yeah, those are the picks that Danny's rolling with. I can quickly speed through mine. Just a reminder too that it is feast week on Underdog. So if you guys want to use some of these promos, the supercharged entries, just to give you guys an idea of what it is. Basically, you'll make an entry and it'll ask you, do you want to supercharge this entry? It's kind of like supersizing your fries at McDonald's or whatever, where it'll give you kind of like a boosted profit share if it ends up hitting for you. So that's basically what it is. I think sometimes you have to add in another $5 or something to be able to supercharge the entry. But yeah, so first game, let me go to the first game that we have here. Kicking off is the Packers and Lions in about 10 minutes or whatever. Christian Watson, higher receiving yards, kind of same rationale that you said. Christian Watson getting more routes, getting more targets since he's been back. Jahmyr Gibbs, rushing yards. I played through the rushing yards. You went with the receptions. Jahmyr Gibbs averages 9.5 yards per carry since Dan Campbell took over the starting or the play calling duties. So I just figured I'd ride the wave of Jahmyr Gibbs. And is Frank playing in this game? Is Frank Ragnow playing?
Frank Ragnow is not going to be back until the LA Rams game, apparently. So he's going to miss this week, and he's projected to miss next week against the Cowboys, which, by the way, I guess I haven't announced yet. I will be live in attendance. Last time I was in Detroit for a Cowboys-Lions game, and Corey knows the story because I've brought it up a million times, was the Megatron 329 fake spike on the goal line. 2013 Detroit versus Dallas. Hopefully I'm able to see some type of luck go my way in live attendance because it hasn't been when I've been at Cowboys games. So
yeah,
I'm hoping I can knock it off, man. Maybe a different vibe. I enter the stadium a lot happier. Maybe
you are notoriously getting rinsed every time you go to a Cowboy. Have you seen the Cowboys win a game in person? Because both Cowboys games that I've been with you, they've gotten smoked.
I've been to 3 Cowboys games. One of them we lost with 1 second left off the fake spike. One of them we got blown out at home against the Bucs, and then we got blown out against the Bills. So I am not good in terms of track record, but that's why you keep shooting, man. You never know when the first is going to go in.
Yep. The picks that I have for the second game, pretty straightforward. I'm just trusting the volume on the ground with Javonte Williams. I get the fantasy points. Both of ours could hit here. He's gone beyond this total in 3 straight games because he got 20 carries even in a blowout for the first half last week against the Eagles. They were getting blown out. He still had 20 carries, 22 carries the week before that coming out of the bye. And in every home game this year, except for one, he's gone above 18 carries. So he gets a lot of volume. It should be easy for him to hit that total. Travis Kelce, no Noah Gray in this one. 4 straight games of 80+% of the routes. So I like him to go higher than 57.5 receiving yards. He's actually averaged 75 receiving yards per game over the last 4 in those games that he's been getting above 80% of the routes. And I think with no Gray out there, like he should be getting those routes, no problem. And then the final game here, I like Yoshi Vosh. Again, I actually had to get it at 36.5 receiving yards. You got it a lot lower than me. But same rationale, 7 targets last week. T. Higgins is out. And then Mark Andrews, the Bengals, like I said, 3 straight tight ends. Darnell Washington, Hunter Henry, and Colston Loveland, their season highs in receiving yards came against the Bengals. And Mark Andrews' season high in receiving yards is 91. So if he gets anywhere close to that, he will hit this 37.5 pretty easily. I did do these all individually as separate entries for each game, but Spicy did do a little $5 if we sweep these, if all 6 of these hit. So, just in case they all hit, that's what we're ended up rolling with. We did the individuals, and then we also do the $5 to win 117. And of course, if you guys are new to Underdog, you can get a new customer gimme pick using promo code FSE. You can also get up to $1,000 in bonus funds on your first deposit. And when you make your first play, you can also get $100 in bonus entries instantly there too. So those are the picks for today. Again, keep an eye on your app today because there's going to be promos, halftime stuff. There's going to be supercharges. They're probably going to drop gimme picks at like 4:00 or don't quote me on that, but I know they got some stuff up their sleeve. So definitely be paying attention to your apps whenever you're in between meals or whatever. You guys, hopefully you do have a happy Thanksgiving. I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be taking a nap during the 4 p.m. game or whatever, but get some stuff locked in there. Not having Gesicki receptions as a sell. Gesicki's an interesting one.
I do like Gesicki a lot this week. I will mention this offhandedly because I messaged this to you, but I haven't really said it publicly to those of you guys watching right now. Corey, why isn't Jahmyr Gibbs RB1 rest of the season?
I mean, I don't think that's necessarily a hot take. I think a lot of people feel that way.
I mean, given how Taylor and McCaffrey have been all year, I think it's a little bit hot. But I mean, I know what you mean. It's probably like a lukewarm in the sense.
Yeah,
probably like RB3, RB4 for people.
The clear top tier of running backs for me is those 3 guys and Bijan Robinson, with Bijan being number 4 of that group. I just want to be perfectly clear because I
have Bijan in the next year with HN.
Yeah, I think that Bijan is a little bit ahead of HN, but that's fair. I mean, HN's actually has 1 more point per game for him, so maybe you're more in line with the correct stance there. But those 4 guys are just absolute monsters if you have them, and if you have 2 of them, congrats on your championship. Yeah,
shout out Sal.
And there's plenty of Gibbs JT teams out there as well, Bijan JT teams.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun, and I mean, obviously, you were joking around about that 4 p.m. game, but man, I'm excited. And I said on the Sunday morning live stream that I thought the Eagles -3.5 in Dallas was a big trap line. I'm not as confident because obviously Mahomes scares me a lot more than respectfully the Eagles and Hurts-led offense was coming into last week's game. But I do think with no Trey Smith, that's going to be our advantage, man. Having those three defensive tackles, being able to stop the run without committing more guys to the box has really been the difference with our defense. And if we're able to keep those guys into long down and distance situations, you can pressure up front, you can man those guys up a little bit better. And as we know with the Chiefs offense, if you're able to man them up, they simply are not nearly as good as if you're just playing soft zone against them. Rashee Rice, for example, 33rd percentile against man, 35% of the snaps last year, 99th percentile against zone, and the other 65%. If we're able to limit the early down gains for this team and force them in long down and distance situations, get the pass rush going, honestly, if I'm playing it schematically as the Cowboys defense, what I'm doing, Bland is playing in the slot the whole game on Rashee Rice. He's manning him up. He's playing the slot. He is not leaving Rashee Rice for the whole game.
Dude, people should play man coverage against Rashee Rice exclusively.
They should, because he can't separate against
man. Literally can't beat man coverage.
And in terms of Kelsey, you know who I actually think is our best body to be able to try to limit him?
Quinnen Williams. I don't know.
Savon Ravel. So our rookie corner, he's like 6'2". He's like 200 pounds. He made his debut against the Raiders. And like he was a really good prospect. Obviously he missed because he was recovering from an ACL, but like he's our lengthiest corner and he's got long ass arms. So if you're going to slow down Kelsey, you can press him off the line. You got those long arms. Like I see where we can match them up. Again, we're not going to limit that offense because obviously they're better than our defense, but can we cause them to score 24, 20 points as opposed to 31? Like that's going to be a big difference in this game.
Yeah, no, it is. And Katz, there is no, I don't see a projection for his rushing attempts.
Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, we're going to sign out of here. Hopefully you guys enjoy the game, enjoy your dinners today. To be honest with you, I love Thanksgiving dinner, even though Thanksgiving for Canadians is in October. I really wish we had Thanksgiving dinner to eat as well. That's the one thing.
While we watch games?
We get to watch games on a random Thursday. So that obviously feels great for us. And of course, we do have Black Friday tomorrow, just like you guys. And there will be a game on then as well. So yeah, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our American listeners out there, which is a lot of you. Anybody who submitted a question to the site, I have sent out vouchers to all of you. So we apologize for not being able to answer your site questions on this stream, especially if it involves something that was like pertinent to this. If for whatever reason, you guys do have a site question that you want to just message us like privately or something, or like in the chat right now, be like, hey, I submitted a site question, didn't get an answer. Please drop it in the chat right this second if it is pertinent to the games today. But all of you should have a voucher for the type of question you submitted. So if you submitted a start set, you got a start set voucher. If you submitted a trade question, you got a trade question voucher. And hopefully the site will be up and running and ready to go by Sunday morning. And I'm sure it will be. It's just that the devs are not around because it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And Dylan, more than likely next time we're live is going to be on Sunday, unless like
that's correct. And tomorrow, as usual, the matchups that matter video will be live for all the Sunday games, and then we'll have the tier list live for Saturday as usual as well.
Report from Ian Rappaport, by the way. Cowboys are very likely to tag George Pickens and work on an offseason extension.
Yeah, I figured that was Jerry Jones has literally admitted publicly that he likes being in the news. So I already guarantee that they're going to tag him, and then there's going to be some holdout, and then these like we know how Jerry Jones literally has admitted to telling his players, probably Parsons, Lamb, and Dak Prescott types, that they should hold out to be in the news. He's literally admitted to this.
Well, the report was that they would tag him and then work on an extension off the tag. So like, because you could still do that. Obviously.
Did you see what I'm talking about though? He was on a radio show and he admitted to telling his players to play up holdouts so that they could stay in the news. Like the Cowboys would be a top
I didn't see that
news topic.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Like, oh, what's going on with CeeDee Lamb's holdout when he intended to sign him the entire time? Ridiculous. Yeah. And I've suspected that he's been doing that for years. Ever since the Emmitt Smith holdout, he probably made so much money off of all the pub that the Cowboys got. He's been doing that ever since.
I will give the Cowboys the benefit of the doubt, though, because you would think, oh, they have no cap space, right, dude? Like they can create like $50 million in cap space this offseason like this.
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably still end up selling a player because they feel like they need cap space because they have a terrible cap.
I don't know, man. you add 2 first-round picks to this team, and you sign people to long-term deals. And again, you're still going to have money left over, even if you sign up everybody. Like given how the cap's currently structured. At that point, like you add a defensive player or two in the free agency cycle, and you have legitimately 4 or 5 like key additions. Like, what's stopping them from realistically realizing their window next year? Like the way the team's playing right now, like
I mean,
you add a couple
if you hit on those picks, you get early returns out of them. Definitely nothing.
Well, and that will be the big factor. If you just draft a guy that's not ready.
Let's say a cornerback and a guard or what, like I don't know what you guys need, but like let's say you draft a cornerback and you get like a Gregory Rousseau caliber player and a I don't know, I'm trying to think of like a early cornerback hit type of guy. Like if you get 2 guys like that, then that would really go a long way to helping you compete next year.
I will tell you right now, Arthur, they approach the offseason the right way. They're taking first in the NFC East. We have the Eagles number. That we do. Anytime it's any semi-fair matchup between us and the Eagles and Dak's healthy, we win. Like that's how it works. We win.
Yeah. Anyways, let's also it is definitely dark meat all day. And somebody also asked mashed potatoes or stuffing. That's like asking me to pick between my 2 children because I absolutely love both of those 2 things.
Mashed potatoes.
I would probably lean towards mashed potatoes though.
Just because it's so much more like versatile, I would say.
You can eat it when you have wisdom teeth taken out would be my tiebreaker.
Fair.
When your wisdom teeth get taken out, like when I got my wisdom teeth out, all I ate was mashed potatoes for like 4 days. So,
yeah, Arthur, respectfully, you guys, Denver always sees the worst of the Cowboys. I don't know what it is, but every time we play the Denver Broncos, it doesn't matter the year. It doesn't matter the personnel. We never beat Denver. Like it does 2017, 2021, like it doesn't matter the fucking year. It doesn't matter if we win 13 games, Denver wins fucking 6. We'll lose to them. Like I watched
the Bears. We can never beat the Bears.
I watched CJ Anderson
and the 49ers. The Bucs always lose to the 49ers typically too.
Like I watched CJ Anderson rush for like 150 yards against us, and I think it was 2017.
Certain teams just have your number. Like the Bears always have our number. The 49ers typically have our number.
Don't give 49ers.
We always get rinsed by the Ravens too. Every time we play the Ravens, we always lose. Like
they're certain teams. I mean, to be fair with the Ravens specifically, Lamar just against anybody in the NFC. Typically, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
True. The thing with Lamar is he's such a quarterback in the sense that if you have limited reps against him because you're in the NFC, it's going to be so fucking hard to contain that offense. Like, what's his record against the NFC in his career? Like, if I search that up,
it's high. This is an interesting question. Really quick, we can just close it out here because we're obviously getting into the games now. JJ McCarthy or Shadur Sanders in Dynasty? He's asking. I think you got to go with JJ still.
Yeah,
but it wouldn't shock me if 5 weeks from now the right answer is Shadur.
I don't disagree.
By the way, try and get a second from him. If you're selling McCarthy for Shadur and a 2, I would do that for sure.
Yeah. If you could do that, I would do that. But otherwise, I would take JJ straight up.
Y'all missing New Mexico red chili on Thanksgiving? Oh, that's a good call out.
That sounds fire.
I made a Thai curry like fish the other day with like Thai red chilies and coconut milk and shit. Oh God, it was so good. I should have tweeted the picture out.
So Corey, I mentioned the split, but you want to know how absurd this split is for Lamar Jackson? So in his career, he is 25-5 against the NFC.
Holy shit.
In those games, he has a 7.8% rushing average or yards per carry average. Like what?
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah, he's insane.
Who do you have anyone in the flock league today?
I mean, I have the Cowboys.
The Cowboys players, yeah.
Yeah, I have Dak, I have Rome tomorrow, I have Lamb. And then no matter what happens, I have Trevion Henderson against the Giants on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, I have to sweat out Wan'Dale Robinson so Nathan has Jameson Williams playing right now. I have Flowers and Lamar playing tonight. But he also has Wan'Dale on Monday night, and I'm hoping
I'm sorry for that, by the way.
Like, I'm really hoping that I don't have to sweat out a Wan'Dale game for like down 15, like if I'm up 15 or something like that.
Also, the only way I believe you guys wouldn't get the bye is if I won out and you guys lost out, and I made up points on you, but I think I have points on Arthur. It's one of those two. Okay, no, I'm 0.5 points behind Arthur, and you're 70 points above both of us. So if I made up the points and won out, and one of you guys lost out, is how I would secure a bye. Otherwise, if I lose a game, or you guys
probably get the buys locked up. I would imagine.
My chance at the bye was beating Arthur last week, and my fucking team just laid an egg.
My home league, I have a really crucial win that I need this week because I'm 7-5. And if I lose out and the two teams behind me win out and one of them I play this week, I could actually miss playoffs in my home league. And the reason I say I'm a little worried about it is because I play like this week, I play one of the teams that can pass me. And next week I play Arnold's team. I play Arnold's team who has Jonathan Taylor and Gibbs on it. Oof. And I don't have McMillan or Tracy on because they're on bye. So I'm a little worried that in my home league, I could actually miss the playoffs despite being 7-5 with the 4th most points for in the league right now. I need to win this week. I have to win this matchup because I might lose next week.
So kind of similar for me also, seeing that I'm playing Jahmyr Gibbs might it literally just made me shit myself.
Yeah, that hurts.
But so obviously Gibbs is Rob's best player. He's 5-7. He's kind of still in the mix. And he won last year. So he can make it up. The spot that's good about me is because I'm 7-5 with the most points scored. The person that is in the 7 seed right now is 5-7. So they would have to make up legitimately 130 points for on me in the next 2 weeks. And I would have to lose my next 2 games.
Right.
And they would, of course, have to win their next 2. So I should at least make the playoffs. The main thing for me is my league in terms of my home league. The difference between 1st and 12th right now is 8-4 versus 4-8.
It's pretty crazy.
4-game spread between 1st and 12th.
Yeah, pretty wide.
But yeah,
pretty small. I mean.
Hopefully I can get a top 2 seed, get a bye week because again I'm only 1 game out. But if I'm able to make up the game, then like I said, I have the most points. So 2-0 finish, get a bye week.
Yeah, we should sign off anyways. Did Christian Watson just catch a pass? He did. Nice.
I'm gonna go take a dump and then watch the game.
Shout out. Appreciate that insight. Anyways, good luck to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And again, anybody who submitted a question, we've sent you vouchers. Appreciate it.
Peace out.